Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the reason why I came on here to talk to you guys today is because I'm seeing what we're focusing on in 2022, that this time in this era is showing up more authentic through anything that you do, through social media, through work, through school, through your business, whatever you do. I think showing up authentic has really been something apparent ever since the epidemic. I think during those 2 years, and we're still going through it now, everybody is shifting over to a new way, a new perspective. And I guess having more understanding towards other people and understanding of themselves. I feel like before we came into this chapter in the 2020s, before obviously technology has really become apparent these past few years and over the decades, but I think that how people were showing up originally for the epidemic, I think how people were showing up was less honest about what they're going through, less honest with themselves, and less honest with their friends and family. I feel like, especially on social media specifically, everybody before, you know, the epidemic, I don't want to say that word because, yeah, but anywho, before that, everybody was showing up on social media as this perfect person, putting up a facade that I'm doing this, and that, and life is beautiful, and his life is great, and life is happy. But it was just like people were just putting their best foot forward on social media and not really discussing sensitive topics. People were just like beating around the bush or trying to discuss sensitive topics, and people were like not going for it. But I feel like after the shift and this new era that we're coming into, people are showing up as themselves. And I think that is something so interesting and also so great. It's so great that people are showing up as themselves and being more understanding of others and compassionate towards others. Before everything had happened, everybody for the most part was showing up as just this picture perfect person instead of like basically covering themselves, covering who they actually are. And now we're showing up towards one another, especially newer generations. Our generations is really making an impactful punch on this world today. We're talking about topics that we haven't really delved into, and we're reimagining things. Like, for example, on TV, there's more shows that discuss about mental disorders and how that looks for some type of people. Looking at those movies or those TV shows, as a viewer, you're getting a sense of, I've been there too. And it's like, okay, like now people are showing up and being more authentic. So I think it lets people's guards down too. People are like, okay, like they understand what I'm going through. They're not going to be like, oh, like, no, it's okay. Like, oh, that doesn't happen. Like, people are just speaking loudly and being more present with what's going on. Like the impacts, being authentic and showing up as yourself. There are so many different outlets out there for people now, so they can feel welcome, feel like they have a safe space, feel like they have people that they can talk to, that they can trust. And it's becoming more apparent that we need that. We need people to represent us and how we're feeling, and that gives us opportunities to open up ourselves. I've seen a whole bunch of artists show up as themselves and like be like, okay, it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay that I have this mental disorder. It's okay that I'm going down this road. I feel like it's just becoming more acceptable and more open with who we are as people. There's celebrities showing up as themselves, which gives us reason to show up as ourselves, because at the end of the day, we are all human. We're all going through this human experience. So why not show up as yourself and do a good job at showing up as yourself? Don't be like not confident and stuff. Like, obviously, it takes time and patience, but at the end of the day, you are who you are, and that is okay. And to see the representation through social media, through movies, through TV, through even YouTubers, I feel like YouTubers are becoming more open. They're posting pictures of them crying. They're posting pictures of their body not looking the best. They're discussing sensitive topics like mental health disorders, what's going on with their family, what's going on with their friends, how do they feel about it? And people are opening up. Like, it's not just celebrities, because we are too. Like, I feel like during these past years, I've become more comfortable with myself. I'm still working on it, it's still a working process, but I've become more comfortable and confident within myself to share my feelings, especially on this outlet on YouTube, where like my whole family can see it or all my friends can see it. And actually, I have a really good support system, which is awesome. But I know some people don't have that. And for me to be speaking on topics like this, or sensitive topics, or being more raw, being more authentic, like that takes a lot out of me, but I see it in others. So it gives me like the empowerment to keep moving, to keep pushing forward, even if no one sees this video. Because who am I? I don't have millions of subscribers. I don't have millions of followers. I'm not the richest person, just this person just living this life and speaking on, there goes Princess, so don't mind her, but speaking on issues that are kind of sensitive. Like, people don't really talk about like their feelings, about what they're thinking, about what they're going through in life. And for me, it's important to show up to you like that, because it gives you the confidence to do it for yourself. But since I'm showing up for you guys, it gives you an opportunity and chance to show up no matter how difficult it is. And even social media, there's platforms out there today that help a specific group. There's like the Native American club online, and people discuss what they're going through, the African American, just different ethnic backgrounds, different even sectors in that, because there's Black gay people, there's Mexican gay people, there's people who are Republicans, people who are conservatives, there's different types of people. But people are now finding those groups where they feel comfortable, where they feel safe, and that's because they showed up for themselves. They showed up and became vulnerable, became authentic. And I think this era is so awesome. I think it's also very healing for our ancestors and our and the older generation, even our parents, because we're shifting in ways that we didn't think possible. Yes, there's things that we have to work on, but we're shifting in ways at being and showing up as ourselves. And who doesn't want to show up as them? I love being me. Yeah, it took so long for me to be me and to feel comfortable in my skin. And I think also that it plays a role with how I was represented on TVs, on movies, how, like my family wants me to be. I showed up in a way that pleases others rather than please myself. And I think oftentimes we all do that. But since everybody is kind of shifting into being more straightforward, being more honest with themselves and the people around them, like, hey, I don't like this, or hey, I need a group like this. It's a powerful thing. I think the older generation, I think they see that, and it's actually opening them up too, and not breaking, but in working on themselves, working on that shadow work. You don't necessarily have to be spiritual, but just working on yourself and taking off those layers, taking off the band-aids to those wounds, and just working on yourself, being authentic, posting yourself, like, you know, there's so many women, there's so many men that don't post themselves because they're like, I'm not skinny enough, I'm not, you know, muscular enough, I don't play in this specific role. But I think people are doing it, and I think it's really intriguing how new eras and things shift throughout generations. And I feel like our generation, yes, we have a lot of things to work on, and other generations have a lot of things to work on too. But for our generation and for the newer generation to come, I'm just excited to see people show up as them, post whatever they want to post, and be kind to others, obviously, and have compassion. But I've just been seeing so much change and shifting over the last few years, and I really appreciate people for doing that, understanding that we are all human, we all make mistakes, and sometimes we have to look at things in a more positive light, in a more communal light, and just give back to ourselves and give back to others and show up. But I am actually going on a ramble, and yeah, I don't know. Comment down below if you have anything to say on this, or if you want me to talk about this a little bit more. Anyways, I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Please like and subscribe. And before I end off this video, I didn't forget the affirmations. We're gonna do 3. I think 3 is gonna be my number. So we're gonna do 3. The first affirmation is, I am showing up as myself. I am authentically me, and I love it. I love when people show up for themselves because it gives me the confidence to show up for myself. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next video. Bye. Where'd you go?